Tonight I am making a copycat version of one of my favorite restaurant salads. It's the Savannah Chop salad from McAllister's Deli. You may not be familiar with McAllister's Deli if you're not from this part of the country. I don't think it's a nationwide chain, but I would compare it to a Panera. And not the morning Panera that's like bagels and pastries and coffee, but like the lunchtime Panera that's soups and sandwiches and salads and flatbreads and stuff like that. And McAllister's is also famous for their sweet tea. I mean, people will go there just to get a big, like large iced tea, you know, that they can drink. I actually could not find a lot of recipes for this salad online. I was surprised that Pinterest didn't have more copycat versions of this recipe, just like a few little blog posts, but that's okay because I know what's in it. And I did find a recipe for the McAllister's Sherry Shallot salad dressing. And if you are not making your own vinaigrettes for your salads, it is so easy. It is just oil and vinegar and Dijon mustard as an emulsifier. That's the base. And then from there, you can add whatever you want to it. If you want to add some citrus, like some lemon juice, or you want to add a little bit of sugar to take some of the bite out of the vinegar taste, different herbs, garlic. This particular salad dressing calls for shallot. So I'll be chopping up some shallot to put in with the olive oil that I'm using and the champagne vinegar, and then salt and pepper, and then the Dijon mustard. That shallot, it was a lot, you guys. It was a lot. This salad consists of crunchy romaine, and I like to soak mine in cold water and vinegar for about 20 minutes and then lay it out on a paper towel or towel to dry before I chop it all up. Chopped cucumbers and tomatoes, chopped grilled chicken. I actually just bought some rotisserie chicken from the deli already pulled off the bone, and I'll chop that up and throw it in there. Gorgonzola cheese, and then almonds and dried cranberries. And you can actually buy those two things together in a package in the kind of salad topping section. It's where all of the dressings and stuff are in Walmart. And then you just toss all of that together with your desired amount of dressing, and I'm telling you that this salad is perfection. I always order it when I go to McAllister's to eat, and when I make it at home, it does not disappoint, and it is very refreshing and filling and satisfying, and something that you can eat chilled on a warm summer evening. Long before charcuterie was a household term, my family was eating it for dinner, especially in the summertime. We just called it snack supper, and I would get out different kinds of cold cuts, cheeses, crackers, whatever veggies and fruit I had on hand, and sometimes I'd whip up some kind of dip, and we'd have, you know, a nice cold snacky summer meal. Now that it's become a thing, it's definitely having a moment. There are all kinds of ideas for charcuterie out there and different ways that you can present it. In fact, my mom got me this book for Christmas. It's called Beautiful Boards, 50 Amazing Snack Boards for Any Occasion by Megan Brown. She's the Baker Mama. If you've ever been to the Baker Mama website, I'll leave that linked in the description box below. A friend of mine tells me she's from Oklahoma and that he went to high school with her, at least that's what he says. But anyway, I've enjoyed flipping through this. It has lots of really great ideas. She has ideas for sandwiches, ideas for breakfast, ideas for snack plates. She even has ideas that are based on colors or seasons. In fact, I did a red, white, and blue snack board a few weeks back with things like pepperonis and strawberries and bell peppers, different kinds of cheeses and crackers, and even like little crunch bars for the blue along with blueberries. But again, you can hop on Pinterest or you can Google this concept and come up with lots of ideas outside of just the standard like meat and cheese board. And a lot of them work really well in the summer months, and many of them don't require any cooking whatsoever. And if you need to take your charcuterie board somewhere, one trick I've learned is to use an organizing tray, like the kind you would normally find in your silverware drawer or your desk drawer. Those make it really easy to create like a charcuterie spread and then take it somewhere. I use that trick all the time. The other day, I put out a spread of items for people to build their own yogurt bowls. And I know that seems like a breakfast or a snack item, typically speaking, but people love breakfast for dinner, right? And in the summertime, I'm not really thinking about whipping up, you know, scrambled eggs and bacon or pancakes and waffles or biscuits and gravy at 6:30 in the evening when it's still 100 degrees outside. But that doesn't mean that I have to completely abandon the breakfast for dinner idea. I just rethink the options. You know, I'm gonna think about things that I can serve that are a little bit more lighter and more refreshing for the summer months. A yogurt parfait definitely fits that bill. So I just picked up a couple of different kinds of Greek yogurt, a plain one that people can flavor themselves, and then one that is already sweetened. I like Greek yogurt because it's higher in protein than the standard yogurt. And then I picked up a couple of different granolas. Man, they have so many different kinds for different lifestyles now. And our favorite crunchy cereal for yogurt topping, it's called Kellogg's Cracklin' Oat Bran. It's a little bit pricey, but totally worth it, and a little bit goes a long way because it's really crunchy. It makes a great yogurt topping. And there are all kinds of fruits that are in season during the summer that make great yogurt add-ins. Things like berries, pineapple, bananas, mango. You can also get dried fruits like cranberries or coconut sprinkles. If you wanted to add a little bit more sweetness, if that's not enough, you could even get out a few like chocolate chips or white chocolate chips that you can add in. The possibilities are really endless. Everybody can make their yogurt bowl the way that they want, and I think it's something that is really refreshing and still filling and still can offer some good nutrition, but not be like heavy breakfast food that would sit really heavy in the tummy in the warm summer months. Another option for breakfast for dinner in the summer might be bagels. You could do like a build your own bagel with different kinds of bagels, different kinds of spreads, maybe a few different kinds of meat or a little bit of smoked salmon that people can build their specific bagel, have a little fresh fruit on the side. You could also do maybe some overnight oats. You can chill your oatmeal and then do some of the same add-ins you would normally do for yogurt. And there's always cereal for dinner, right? Am I the only person who occasionally just eats a bowl of cereal as a meal? Please tell me I'm not alone. At any given time, I've usually got several different kinds of pasta in my pantry because we like pasta dishes. It's an inexpensive starch, and I make a lot of like crock pot recipes, one pot recipes, and casseroles with it throughout the year. In fact, in my next video, which is gonna be a pantry use it up challenge, you're gonna see me use these ditalini pastas to make a salad from, it's a copycat version of a salad from a restaurant called Portillo's. And typically speaking, when I'm making pasta salads in the summer, I'm usually just kind of raiding the kitchen for what I have around. Different kinds of vegetables, different kinds of dressings that I can make up, and you know, whatever cut of pasta I happen to have open at the time, and a lot of times leftover proteins, like maybe from grilling or from other recipes that I've made earlier in the week. So they're really good for using stuff up, and there's lots of variety that you can create with pasta salads. And I also like that I can usually prep them earlier in the morning when it's cooler and then put them in the refrigerator to chill, and we can enjoy them for dinner later on. There are also lots of recipes out there that are similar to pasta salads but that use rice, and there are even some, you know, regular pasta salad recipes where I have subbed rice for the pasta instead, which would help make it more friendly to people who are trying to eat a gluten-free diet. In fact, the pasta salad recipe that's in my summer recipe capsule is a feta and dill orzo pasta salad that we really like. I'll leave it linked in the description box below, and I've used rice in that recipe many times. I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. I have been working on a couple of new and exciting projects. One of them is going to drop in the next video. I'm gonna be announcing it in the very next video. So if you are not already subscribed, make sure that you are, and be looking for that video to come out next with something new and exciting. And then, well, you'll just have to stay tuned because something really big is coming down the pike in September. I came across this article on thekitchen.com called 5 Mistakes to Avoid When Making Pasta Salad. I'll leave it linked down below. And it says the 5 mistakes, the most common mistakes, are not using the right size and shape of pasta. It recommends something like a rotini because some of the sauces and seasonings will dress the pasta really well in all of the nooks and crannies. Number 2 was overcooking or undercooking the pasta, which can be tricky. It sort of depends on the kind and variety of pasta that you're making, the shape and the variety. Not seasoning the pasta enough was the 3rd most common mistake. Number 4 on the list is a mistake that I'm making, and that is not dressing the pasta salad while the pasta is still warm. I always cook the pasta, drain it, rinse it, let it cool down, and then add it with all of the other ingredients before I dress it. I hadn't thought about dressing the pasta salad while the pasta is still warm. But this article suggests that the pasta will soak up more of the dressing while it's still warm, making the whole pasta salad more flavorful. And number 5 was making the pasta salad too far in advance. And that is one of the tricky things about pasta salad is I don't think it keeps forever. It's something that we generally want to eat within a day or two of making it. I will also add that when I am making pasta salad, if I'm using like a vinaigrette, an oil and vinegar based dressing, I will usually dress it ahead of time, mix all of the ingredients together because I feel like it sort of acts as a marinade. But if I am using more of a cream style dressing, like a Caesar dressing or a ranch dressing, then I'm gonna wait to dress the pasta salad until we are ready to eat it, and usually just let everybody put the dressing on that they want, because those cream salad dressings I think tend to make like the veggies really soggy if we put them on ahead of time. Basically, there are so many different ways that we can make pasta salads according to our preferences, and there's so many ways that I can use stuff that I already have on hand that they're a frequent flyer on our menu in our household over the summer. And because of all of the different varieties that we can make, we don't usually get tired of them. You knew I was gonna talk about sandwiches, right? I mean, after all, it's Joey's favorite food.
Sandwiches! Correct.
When I find myself growing tired of eating sandwiches, it's usually because I keep making the same one or two over and over again. I'm not being creative enough. I'm not thinking outside the box and bringing in some new ingredients to kind of jazz it up a little bit. Sometimes just using a different kind of protein, maybe a different kind of cheese, finding a really good dressing or spread that you can use to jazz up the flavor, or even just changing out the bread. If you've been eating sandwiches on just plain sandwich bread, maybe think about Hawaiian rolls, or maybe ciabatta rolls, or even make it into a wrap, or put those sandwich toppings onto a salad and turn it into a chopped salad instead. Hop on the internet and use that little search engine toolbar to look for creative sandwich ideas, or cold sandwich ideas, or new sandwich ideas, or vegetarian sandwich ideas. I don't know how many times I have punched something like that into Google or into Pinterest and found some really great ideas that I wouldn't have thought of. If you normally eat turkey and Swiss, how about a beef and cheddar? Have you thought about making a caprese sandwich with fresh tomatoes and pesto and mozzarella cheese? One of my son's favorite sandwiches is pepperoni and cheese with a little bit of whipped cream cheese, and he either puts it into a tortilla and rolls it up or onto bread. Have you ever thought about making a pepperoni surprise sandwich a la Brick? I put out a video last month where I shared with you my summer recipe capsule. And this is basically just a handful of go-to recipes that I can make on any given night when I'm not filming for another video and I just don't really want to think about what's for dinner. 3 of those recipes are sandwiches. It's my 2-ingredient shortcut lazy lady chicken salad. I've talked about this so many times. It is just already cooked chicken and a container of prepared dip, and I can put that onto rolls or into wraps or onto salads or whatever. The crispy chicken wraps, where I just buy already cooked chicken tenders in the deli and a salad kit and toss it all together and throw it into a tortilla. My kids love those. And McKenna's favorite Italian sandwich, which is made even easier now because a lot of times you can buy the pepperonis and the salamis and the cheese together for that sandwich. I have made up a few recipe cards for those since I mention them so often, and I will leave it linked in the description box below where you can go and download those for free if you just want a printable version of those to remind you. I would hardly even call them recipes because there's so few ingredients, but sometimes having it written down somewhere or printed out somewhere just reminds us that it's an option, you know? I know that I haven't really touched on some classics like tuna salad, egg salad sandwiches, BLTs. If you have any ideas for cold meals, refreshing meals for the summertime, be sure to leave me a comment below because you could be helping out me or somebody else who's looking for ideas to beat the summer heat. And don't forget to check back for my next video. Something new and exciting and fun for you being unveiled in that video. Pick out one of these to watch next in the meantime.